The pain was bad that day and the next. The doctor tried to get me to eat, but I couldn't eat any food. She even tried to give me my favorite treat, raw liver, but I didn't want it. I lay very still, trying not to hurt my sore spots. When Kelly and her parents came to take me home, I was so happy I forgot about how badly I felt. Even though it hurt to ride home in the car, I didn't care. I just snuggled down in Kelly's lap and rested my head on her arm. Usually, when I'm happy, I wiggle all over. This time, I was too sore, but I think Kelly knew how happy I felt. Her smile showed me how much she loved me and was happy to have me with her again. My bed had extra pillows on it, and it felt soft and comforting to my aching body. There was even a pillow for my head. I lay there for many days, unable to walk. Everyone had to take turns carrying me outside to go to the bathroom. How embarrassing for a sled dog to be carried outside to go to the bathroom. I was really glad when eventually I could hobble outside myself. Gradually, it got easier to walk. Kelly would take me for walks around the lake as I grew stronger. Sometimes she would try to get me to run. I really didn't want to because I knew it would hurt and it scared me to think about running. I remembered the accident when the running turned into flying and the flying turned into terrible pain. Such speed could be deadly. The thought of running made me shiver. I could be coaxed into trotting, but nothing faster. It bothered me, Kelly. It bothered Kelly, but I couldn't help it. I could only hope she wasn't too disappointed with me. Then one night I dreamed of my mother. She was skimming across a snowy landscape that gleamed in the moonlight. Unfettered by harness, the ice wind flowing through her thick dark coat, she seemed to float above the snowy trail. "We run," she called out to me. "That's what sled dogs do. We run." Before I woke up completely, I felt my legs twitching in a kind of dreamlike running. Asleep, I had been trying to keep up with my mother. Awake, I knew how I had to overcome my fears because sled dogs run. I tried to run that day when Kelly took me for my walk. The pain was there, but it slowly faded the more I ran. Soon I was running very fast again. I could feel strength slowly creeping back into my body and endurance fleshing out in my thin legs. I especially liked running on the sandy beach when we would go on a fishing trip. While her parents fished, Kelly and I would run down long stretches of sand that felt soft and giving under my feet. Kelly would always get tired long before I did. Sometimes I got so thrilled by my own speed that I'd leave her far behind, running until I could barely hear her shouting my name. Then I'd sneak back, feeling guilty, my tail tucked between my legs. Kelly would look angry until she saw me creeping back towards her, my belly scraping on the sand. By then she would have caught her breath, and she'd always laugh and pet me. My tail would spring back and wave. Those fishing trips were great. They would bring back salmon, fillets for them, and everything else for me. My dinners started smelling more like the ones Michael used to fix. Sometimes I wondered about the dog lot. Were my brothers and sisters on Michael's team? Were they real sled dogs now? Did the wind still howl around the mountains? Were the trees shredding their leaves like the ones in my yard? I brooded about such things as the rain fell. Day after day it rained, sometimes lightly, sometimes like a battering drum on the roof. We rarely saw the sun. I hated rain. I wanted snow. When the first snow finally fell that autumn, I was so happy. I ran around the yard all by myself. Kelly had to drag me indoors for the night. This was camping out weather as far as I was concerned. One night, Dad came home with a huge smile on his face. He told Kelly he had a surprise for her. Kelly stopped doing her homework, and we all went outside. In the back of his truck was a dog sled, a real dog sled. It was just like the one Michael had, only a little smaller. Tomorrow night we'll take Foxy out on the lake and see if she's strong enough to pull it, he told Kelly. Tonight I'll show you how to use it. How dumb, I thought. I'm the one who will use it. All Kelly has to do is stand on the back. How difficult could that be? He took the sled into the garage, and after dinner he and Kelly spent a long time in there, talking about how to drive the sled and how to stay on the runners. I sulked in the kitchen. I wanted to try it right away. I couldn't wait another whole day. The next day crawled by until Kelly came home from school. Dad took so long getting home, I was afraid the snow would melt before he arrived. Then they had to eat dinner and clean the dishes. My own dinner my own dinner was untouched. My stomach was too tight to put food in it. We all walked to the lake, Kelly carrying my harness and Dad pulling the sled. The harness was the same pink one we'd used before. This time the harness fit much better, like a part of me that had been missing until now. When I was hooked to the sled, Dad told Kelly to stand on the brake. He then walked out to the middle of the lake and yelled, "Okay, let her go!" Kelly released the brake and yelled, "Go, Foxy, go!" I felt a thrill that left me lightheaded. It was my chance to run. And run I did, straight towards Dad, who yelled, "Come here, Foxy, come here!" Behind me, Kelly was screaming, "Run, Foxy, run!" I felt perfectly balanced between the earth and the sky. My feet were on the ground, but I was flying. Dad had to grab the sled to make me stop. He and Kelly laughed at the way my tongue hung down as I gulped for air. "Can we do it again, Dad?" Kelly asked. "You bet we can," I thought. We ran several more times that night. Kelly complained when Dad told her we had to go home. Every night after that, the three of us were out on the lake. Sometimes I did speed work straight away, dead runs across the lake toward Dad with his stopwatch. Other nights I circled the lake, running around and around its snowy perimeter to build strength and endurance. Kelly was learning to help me by kicking, shoving one foot against the snow to give added push to my pull. Kelly heard the kids at school talking about junior sled dog races, which were about to start in town. One night during dinner, she asked her parents if she and I could race in the one-dog class. I remembered the racing champions my mother told me about. I realized that I could never race that fast, but the idea of a race really excited me. Even if I didn't win, I'd be a part of their tradition. A very small part, but still a part. Kelly's parents told her that we would have to work hard if we wanted to be competitive in the races. From that moment on, the stopwatch became my enemy. Little by little, we trimmed our time down, cutting second after second until the seconds turned into minutes. If we were going to race, I was going to be ready. My legs tightened with muscle. I became leaner each day, despite the huge dinners I bolted down each evening. Sometimes my training went further than my strength. I'd collapse into my bed and stare at the wall, my legs burning and trembling with exhaustion. But the pain was nothing like the pain of the accident, and I knew it would be gone by morning. As my training continued, gradually the burning and the trembling in my legs disappeared. I knew I was in great physical shape. I was impatient to run. Bring on the races, I kept thinking. It's my time to run.